Happy Tuesday. I didn't go live yesterday in case you missed me. So starting this week, I'm going to be changing my live schedule. I will only be going live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. CET. So that's starting this week until further notice, depending on how everything evolves. So as of last Sunday, our kids in Spain have been allowed to go out for an hour. How has that been for you? Tomorrow I'm gonna share how it's been like for us. Today we were supposed to be joined by Veronica and Anthony, and they were gonna share with us some fun activities that we could do with our kids. They have English speaking like theater classes. So I was actually really excited to see what they had to say. Unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts, they won't be able to join us today, but they will join us again soon. We will reschedule and find another day that will work for everyone. But I'm still gonna go with the idea of talking about something kind of fun. And so today I'm gonna talk about play. So maybe not so fun for the parents. So if this is your first time watching, welcome. I am Denise. I am a mom of two living in Madrid, and I am also a parenting coach. So I help parents enjoy parenting. And especially with the way that things are nowadays, I think there are lots of parents who are feeling a bit burnt out in general, just about everything that's going on. And so my goal with these lives and with what I do in general is to help you it's to help you, period. But it's also just if you feel like you are only surviving or you're an okay parent and what you want to be doing is better, then that is why I am here. I am here to help you be the parent that you want to be. So, on to today's topic about play. So, several of my mom friends have been saying how they are so tired of playing with their kids. And I don't think they are alone in this. And I have mentioned in, I don't know how many lives at this point, but I'm sure in almost all of them, just how important play is for our kids. So I've mentioned that play is a way for them to process the information, right? It's a way for them to just like, what's the word for it? Assimilate everything that is going on. And it's also a way for them to let out their feelings. So I like it how Dr. Laura Froyen put it. She said that play is our children's language, right? It's the way that they express themselves. And so if play is our children's language, then toys are our children's words. So she actually suggests that we have 3 types of toys available to our kids. And so the first one is toys related to real life play. So, you know, the kitchen toy, the fake kitchen toys, doctor sets, dolls, those kinds of things where kids can kind of like recreate what everyday life is like. The second type of toys she actually suggests are toys related to power and aggression. So these are toys that not only allow kids to let the feelings out, but it gives them the opportunity to feel powerful, right? Because as a kid, there are most of their days, they don't really get to feel that. So the idea is that to give them the space in play to feel this. So we actually don't have toys that are related to power and aggression, and just her suggestions were things like swords and guns and, well, obviously toy swords and toy guns and that kind of thing. We don't have that in our house. Although the other day my son did make his own gun by connecting a straw to the computer plug, and he was just going pew pew pew. So, you know, if they don't have it, they will make them. But one game that we do play that gives my children that sense of feeling powerful is this game called Knock You Over. Or, well, yeah, so basically it starts by me telling my daughter, I bet you can't knock me over. And then I sit on the floor, and I normally get a pillow. And so she runs to me from the other side of the room, and she tries to knock me over. So it's depending on her mood. Sometimes she likes it when I fall over right away, or sometimes she likes it when there's still like a bit of a struggle. But either way, really the purpose of the game is to connect with her and also let her feel powerful. So are there any games that you play with your kids, or that you notice that your kids like to play, which kind of give them this sense of power? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. I know it's not a question you would know from the top of your head, but I would really love to know and get some ideas as well of how else I can play with my daughter in this way. So the third type of toy that she suggests having are creative toys, right? So this is a bit easier. These are like the arts and crafts toys, paint, crayons, markers, those kinds of things, and also building toys. So Lego and all the different types of building toys that there are. For those of you who just started watching, hi, today we're going to be talking about play. And so I just went through the 3 types of toys that Laura Froyen recommends that your children should have access to. So it is real life play toys, toys that allow them to feel power and aggression, and creative toys. And going back a bit to the power and aggression, I know that some parents have, like, they're not comfortable seeing their kids playing aggressively. And I just like to say, I understand totally how you feel, but it's the way that by being able to play aggressively, they are able to learn so many things. They are able to learn their strengths. They're able to learn, basically how it would actually affect other people when they play aggressively. And it's also a safe space for them to let out those aggressive feelings. So it might be hard for us parents to watch, but it is also really important to children. So another thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to play is this concept called special time. So I got this concept from this group. It's called Hand in Hand Parenting, and they have all these different tools that you can use. And so special time is one of them. And I think for me, this is so important in relation to how I mentioned earlier that my friends are just up to here when it comes to playing with their kids. And I actually don't feel that way, I think, and it's because of this idea of special time. So, special time is basically when you literally set a timer, and during that amount of time, you play with your kids, and you play with them. You do whatever it is that they want to do, and you are all in. You are not trying to direct them to do anything. You are not also looking at your phone. You are not sneaking off into the bathroom, right? This is this special time, and you can call it whatever you want with your child. But the idea is that for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for 30 minutes, right? Whatever you can handle, your full attention is with them. And the thing that I like about this is because it's like a set time, it's easier for us parents to kind of manage, just knowing like, okay, I just have to be doing this for 10 minutes. I just have to be really focused on this for 10 minutes. And it also helps set the limit at the end. That's why you have the timer. So it's kind of like something outside, like, okay, we've agreed that we're only going to be playing for 10 minutes, and now time's up. Just so that it's not like, okay, I'm bored, I don't want to play with you anymore, right? So that's also why the timer is important. So for those of you who just started watching, hi, today we're talking about play. I just talk about special time, which is a very specific amount of time that you spend with your children, just really focused and doing whatever it is that they want to do. So again, it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, but the idea is that you set the time and you are with them totally. And then when the timer rings, you leave, right? You leave lovingly, but you also tell them, okay, the time's up now, I have to go do something else. Do not be surprised if when this happens, your child will start to cry and shout and say all these things. And you might be like, well, I just spent this time with you. We were doing whatever you want to do. How, like, come on. What more do you want from me? And so basically the idea here is that because they were actually able to connect with you, they now have that sense of safety that they need to let their feelings out. So if your kid does start crying because your special time is finished, take a deep breath and just remind yourself that that is actually a good thing, because it shows that they are, they feel connected and safe with you. Okay, now the question of what should I be doing while they're crying, I kind of addressed in a previous live, which I don't really want to get into here, but basically the idea would be to simply validate their emotions. And you can say something as simple as, yeah, I can see that you're really upset that we finished playing, you really enjoyed spending time with me. Okay? And then you do whatever it is that you have to do. And so the last thing that I want to talk about today about play, and I put this here, is how play saves my butt. And so kids love to play, right? So whenever I feel like I'm getting into a power struggle with my daughter, I always try to think of how I can turn this into a game. And so, just a very concrete example of what happened this morning when we went out for our daily walk, and it was time to go home, and my daughter decided that she was too tired to go home. And if some of those of you who have followed me, you know that we did like a problem solving conversation, and the decision was that if she feels too tired to go home, she'll do it anyway, and that was something that she had said. So I reminded her of that, and she said, yeah, but I can't do it now. And so I was like, okay, what can I do? Because obviously I can't force her to go home. I can't carry her and her brother and the scooter home. And so I played. I dug deep and I tried different games. The first game didn't work out, where I asked her if she wanted to go on a safari, which is normally a game that she likes to play, and then we start running and we pretend to see elephants and lions and giraffes. That did not work today, unfortunately. But, well, eventually, because I did all these other tools as well, eventually what did work was just playing this game of how I was pretending to pull her on her scooter to come with me, and then later she pretended to pull me, and then we pretended to catch each other, right? We played tag. So play really, when it comes to those type of like power struggles, and you're just like, oh, I really need her to do this, I really need this to happen. Finding a way to do it playfully really makes it better for everyone, right? Because then you're not forcing the kid to do something they don't want to do. You're finding a way to make it appealing to them. And also, it's really hard to play and still be angry. So it also relaxes the mood of the whole family. Another thing that works for me when I'm in that type of power struggle is to be what, I forget his name, I think his name is Lawrence Cohen, calls the bumbling idiot, right? So it's like when I start pretending that I've forgotten how to walk, or I say, okay, come on, like, especially when I'm starting to feel like the stress, right? Come on, we have to go, it's time for breakfast, when it's actually time for lunch. Those kind of things where you just kind of like seem stupid. And I think this is regardless of the age of your kids. They like that. They like seeing you kind of make fun of yourself. So if you're in doubt of what you can do to play with your child, and especially in those like power struggle moments, just make fun of yourself and you'll have a much happier moment. So those are the tips that I have for today about play. For those of you who just started watching, I'll just do a quick review. So first of all is to remember that play is children's language, right? It's the way that they process information. It's the way they let out their feelings. And so if play is children's language, then toys are their words. So we have to be really mindful of the types of toys that they have, and as much as possible offer them open-ended toys where they can really use their imagination with. The second thing I talked about was special time, which is the idea of having a set amount of time with them and you are totally for them, focused on them and doing whatever it is that they want to do. And the last one is how play saves my butt, which is basically when you are in this really like conflict and power struggle, just find a way to make it playful, right? And that's one way that you can really encourage your kids' cooperation. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Tomorrow I will be talking about how the past 7 weeks, right? I think starting tomorrow will be like officially 7 weeks since the school closed. So I always do a bi-weekly series just to share our experience of how it's been going. And so if you want to share with me also your experience, especially with this new change of being allowed to go out, I'd love to hear about it. Just send me a message and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.